With that being said, the Patriots, I think, are knocking off the Seahawks. That's one of my bold predictions. Dallas is going 0-2. They're gonna fall to Atlanta. The Washington football team is gonna go 2-0 and be. All right, in my defense, it was really down to two plays. It was two plays. It was the Cowboys getting the stupidest, most luckiest fucking onside kick there ever was, and then they win the game. And the Seahawks stuffed Cam Newton on like 4th and goal on the 1 yard line. Okay, I was right there. Shit happens. I'm not even getting to the Washington football team loss. I should have seen that one coming. I was, But the other two, that's some bullshit. So now jumping into week 3, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of 2-0 teams that people are like, should they be 2-0? There's a lot of 0-2 teams that are like, damn, how the fuck did you get there? For example, Deshaun Watson and the Texans. I mean, they lost DeAndre Hopkins. Everybody knew they weren't going to be who they were meant to be, in the sense of maybe a playoff contender, AFC title game contender. But they're 0-2 right now. They're going to go up against the Steelers, who are 2-0. I think this could be the classic upset of the week. I think the Texans can't go 0-3. That's really, when I look at this matchup, I see the Steelers as a really good team. I also see as Big Ben as somebody that have played relatively weaker opponents in the first 2 games. And, he might show some rust this game. And I also just don't see Deshaun Watson going 0-3. I don't know. That's weird to me. So if I had to choose an upset this week, it's going to be the Texans over the Steelers, mainly because Deshaun Watson cannot go 0-3. Speaking of 0-3, the Vikings, who are already down to the Bears and the Packers in the NFC North, they're both 2-0, and the Vikings and the Lions are 0-2. And the Vikings are playing the Tennessee Titans at home today, and they're 2-0. It almost feels like this is the season for the Vikings, and it's only 3 weeks in, which is crazy to even say. If you don't get a win here against the Titans, not only are you 0-3, but the 2-0 teams in your division could also potentially be 3-0 after this week. So there's a lot of pressure on the Vikings to really get a W here. Just because of desperation purposes and my nah, we're picking the Titans. The Titans are going 3-0, and I think the Vikings are falling to 0-3, which is going to put their season in an absolute spin cycle. It's gonna cause a lot of problems in that locker room. I think Derrick Henry finally breaks out. He's been a little rusty these first 2 games. I think this game is where it's ball control. It's going to be Dalvin Cook versus Derrick Henry, and I think Derrick Henry takes this victory. The undefeated teams, like the surprising Las Vegas Raiders, after an incredible victory over the Saints on Monday night last week, I think they're going into New England this week. And I don't see the Patriots losing back-to-back games. However, this is a new quarterback. This is a new team. It's not the dynasty of the old, but it has the potential to be the dynasty of the new. It'll be interesting to see if the Raiders can go in there and beat the Patriots and formally end that dynasty that they started. I think that'd be a cool, full circle sort of deal. I don't know if it's going to happen, but shit, that'd be interesting. I think that the Raiders actually lose by a field goal. I think they fall to 2-1, and I think that Darren Waller, the stud tight end on the Raiders, is not going to let loose like he did against the Saints. I think Bill Belichick's going to, identify that that's the main target and make sure he does not get the ball. Now, who needs to get the ball is Allen Robinson when the 2-0 Chicago Bears, go into Atlanta to face the very desperate 0-2 Falcons. This is a Falcons team that lost to the Seahawks and then lost an absolute heartbreaker to the Cowboys last week that, of course, ruined my prediction, but that's none of my business. The Falcons are going to falcon. They're going to blow big leads. However, I don't think they will be getting a lead in this game. I think the Bears are going to dominate this game from start to finish. It's going to be a statement game, not for the NFL, because this is a lose-lose situation from the Chicago Bears when I look at it. If they win, they beat a depleted Falcons team with a lot of injuries. If they lose, they lost to an injured team, so they suck. So either way, people are going to not take them as seriously. But I think for the team itself, if they could play a complete game from first quarter to fourth quarter, I think the Bears can really dominate. And when I mean the Bears, I do mean Mitchell Trubisky. I think he could have a really good game. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears in this one. I think they're going to advance to 3-0, and the Falcons are going to fall to 0-3. And this is also with the Falcons and Dan Quinn, the head coach. I mean, you're the head coach in the Super Bowl when you blow the biggest Super Bowl lead ever in the history of the sports. And then when a team scores 39 points and gets 3 turnovers from the other team, in the history of the NFL, they're 440-0. And the Falcons, in the history of the NFL, the first team to score 39 points, get 3 turnovers, and lose the game. They broke a stat that should have never been broken. So the Falcons are mentally wrecked. They thought that they were over the Super Bowl thing. This loss not only brought those memories back to the people that were on the team during that time, the doubt throughout the locker room about their head coach has to be at an all-time high right now. I don't see the Falcons collecting their thoughts, getting together, and winning this game. I think there'll be points scored on for both teams because the Falcons' offense is really potent, but I think the Bears' defense is underrated. And I think the Bears' offense is finally going to put the pieces together this week for a full 4 quarters instead of 1 quarter in the Lions game or 2 quarters in the Giants game. I think we're going for 4 this week. There's a great matchup this week, 1 o'clock game. The Los Angeles Rams travel to Buffalo to face the Bills. Josh Allen has been on fire. This man has been throwing over 400 yards in his last 2 games. He's had 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, and he's been lighting it up. This is going to be a big test for the 2-0 Bills and a big test for the 2-0 Rams. The Rams are looking to bounce back after missing the playoffs last year, when the year before they actually made it to the Super Bowl and lost to the New England Patriots in the lowest scoring Super Bowl of all time. It's going to be big for both teams. The Rams have to prove that, they're kind of back and their Super Bowl year wasn't sort of a one-hit wonder, so to speak. And the Bills have to prove that they could win against competition and not JV teams in the NFL. So I think it's going to be a big game for both. Both teams are going in there with a lot of confidence. And I want to see if the Bills sort of, balance it out more with a little bit more running and get the running game going against the Los Angeles Rams to slow down their pass rush and Aaron Donald, or if they're going to try to attack Jalen Ramsey with Josh Allen to try to win that game. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Josh Allen hasn't really responded to Jalen Ramsey since 2017 when Jalen Ramsey called him just straight trash. That was hilarious. Yeah, he calls him straight trash. And Josh Allen played Jalen Ramsey that year, I believe, or maybe the year after. It's going to be fun. That still lingers. I mean, Josh Allen's lighting it up right now, and you're facing a player that said that you were trash. So I think, there's a little motivation to get at Ramsey, even though nothing publicly has been said about it. Week 3 is going to be awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be back next week covering who's 3-0, who's 0-3, see if everything I said actually makes sense. I will catch you guys next week, same time. Peace.